Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about top 50 Power BI interview questions and answers. This is complete guide for data analyst for Power BI interviews. So here we have the table of contents and we will be going over each concept with all the detailed questions and answers for each concept in Power BI. So the first concept is Power BI fundamentals. These are the most basic Power BI interview questions. The first one is what is Power BI? We all know that Power BI is a collection of business analytics tools, techniques, and processes used to turn raw business data into valuable and interactive information. It is owned by Microsoft. It connects, transforms, and visualizes data sets from multiple unrelated sources. The data can either be in the form of an Excel spreadsheet or in the cloud. Power BI makes it easier to connect data sources and share insights with anyone as it offers the right tools to create interactive dashboards and live reports that are shared across platforms to make informed decisions. With highly competitive and categorized information, involved parties can track their performances in the market. So, Power BI is mainly used for creating reports and dashboards. It is used for tracking KPIs for any business that you are creating the report. When you are creating the report in Power BI, you can use that report for your business. Why should we use Power BI? Power BI is known for providing an easier way to connect, transform, and visualize raw data from different sources and convert it into meaningful and insightful business information to make informed and smart decisions. Even non technical users can extract information from the data without much hassle. Power BI makes it cost efficient for small businesses to visualize their data without maintaining a separate team of data analysts. In addition, it offers a secure cloud service to view dashboards and reports and share them with stakeholders and business partners for real time analysis. Moreover, it comes with AI features in the form of Power Q&A and Power Query. The former allows you to analyze data through voice commands, while the latter enables you to create dashboards by typing in the columns and visuals you need to include. Power BI is basically used to connect to different data sources and create insightful reports. If it is a simple report, then if someone knows the basics of Power BI, they can create those reports. But if the requirements are complex, definitely you will need data analysts or BI engineers in order to create the Power BI reports and in order to maintain those reports. What are the main components of Power BI? So here are the main components of Power BI. First one is Power Pivot. It is used to fetch, clean, and load data on Power Query. It is used for data modeling that uses DAX for calculations. Relationships between tables are created and users get values shown in pivot tables. Power Query is it is an important Power BI component that operates on the loaded data. It extracts data from various sources like SQL, Excel, Oracle, text or CSV files. It has a lot of connectors with which you can connect to different data sources, transforms and even deletes data. Power Q&A allows users to interact with reports by providing answers to their questions, works with Power View and provides answers through representations. This is basically used when you want the user to ask some questions, and based on that, it will create some visuals which helps the user to understand the question that they are trying to ask. Basically, it is a feature in Power BI service. Basically, the UI for using this feature is called Power Q&A. Power View is an intuitive display of data via charts, maps, graphs, and other visuals. This is the visualization layer of Power BI. Offers an interactive view with slicers and filters for slicing and dicing data. Power Map is mainly for representing geospatial visualization of data in 3D mode. It highlights accurate geographic locations based on state, city, continent, and address. This is mainly used if you use map visuals in Power BI. Power BI Desktop is the software in which you find all of these components, which are Power View, Power Query, and Power Pivot, integrated into Power BI Desktop. It helps users create advanced queries, reports, data models, and dashboards. So dashboard here is basically single page. This is the key difference between report and dashboard. A dashboard means it only has single page. A report means it will have multiple pages. But in Power BI, there is a lot of difference between a dashboard and report based on how Power BI treats these terms. The dashboard is only created inside Power BI service, and dashboard is basically a group of visuals in a single page. These visuals can be from different pages of the report. Power BI mobile application is available for iOS, Android, and Windows. It has an interactive display of dashboards that can be shared easily. Can you tell the difference between managed enterprise business intelligence and self-service BI? Managed enterprise Managed enterprise BI has data flows from various sources with no order for companies to ingest and manage data sources. Self-service BI will have companies which can ingest data from any source seamlessly. Data can flow from any source in any form. Analyzing data is difficult due to time constraints and lack of proper information. No time constraint allows to analyze data implicitly and easily. Companies employ third party vendors, straining budgets and low productivity, whereas in self service BI, no party vendors are required, eliminates other expenses and constraints. In managed enterprise BI, it is hard to conduct business operations effectively due to inability to report and analyze data. It demands complex programming skills for generating reports, whereas in self service BI, companies can process data and conduct business operations easily. Even non technical users can generate intuitive dashboards without complex programming. What are various Power BI versions? Power BI has three versions. Microsoft Power BI Desktop for users who want to get business insights from data with visualization. Microsoft Power BI Pro full version that enables unlimited viewing, sharing, and reporting. Microsoft Power BI Premium offers a dedicated unit of capacity for all users in an organization rather than per user license. What are the building blocks of Power BI? Visualizations, datasets, reports, dashboards, tiles. Let's go over these one by one. Visualizations are visual representation of data extracted from various sources. Examples of visualizations are charts, line graphs, pie charts, maps, bar graphs. Let's talk about datasets. Dataset is a collection of data used to create reports and visualizations. The dataset can be an Excel sheet, an Oracle database, SQL database, or CSV files. Let's talk about reports. Reports are collection of visualizations that appear together or on single or multiple pages. Each visualization shows specific aspects of data depending on requirements. Reports are basically multiple pages. In each page, you will have multiple visualizations. Dashboard is single layer presentation with one or multiple visualizations embedded on one page. It can be shared across various platforms for live information. Let's talk about tiles. Tiles is single visualization in a dashboard or report. A tile can be a pie chart, a line graph, or other visualizations. So these are the building blocks of Power BI: visualizations, datasets, reports, dashboards, tiles. Now we are moving on to the next section, which is Power BI desktop and applications. Let's go deep into what is Power BI desktop. Power BI Desktop is an open source application developed by Microsoft that can be installed on your computer. It is used for generating, shaping, modeling, designing, and publishing reports to the cloud with interactive visualizations. It works cohesively with the Power BI service, and you can save your work to a file or publish data to your Power BI site that can be shared with others. It works full fledged even if the system is not connected to the internet. It is basically the application that you install in your laptop or computer. Users need to Users need the internet only when they want to publish their reports to the cloud and share them with colleagues. It is the first application that users jump into as soon as they boot Power BI. What are the essential applications of Power BI? Power BI is used for various reasons by different professionals and departments. A database administrator can use PowerShell or Microsoft 365 to increase Power BI capacity, can assign roles to different team members, set new passwords, and restrict access to reports or dashboards. Project Management Office can determine the situation of several business units, see performance of team members, and track project progress. So this is how we can use Power BI. When we create a project management report, it will be useful to see the performance of team members and track project progress. IT professionals create visualizations and dashboards to track performance, visualize log files for meetings, find areas to work on, and enhance performance. Business and data analysts will use Power BI reports to analyze raw data efficiently and turn it into meaningful information, clean data based on specific requirements, prepare live reports to represent raw data as visual insights. Now, if we talk about Power BI use for consumers, it will be useful to add custom reports to different applications from consumers' perspectives, create reports showing daily sales in different countries, and it is also useful if we want to highlight product popularity among consumers. What are some drawbacks of using Power BI? You see, even though Power BI is a very powerful data visualization tool, there are some limitations which we need to take care when we try to create reports using Power BI. The first one is it cannot handle large data, unable to handle large files larger than 1 GB, and might time out while processing, can't mix imported data accessed through real time connections, limited data sharing. It allows sharing dashboards and reports with users on the same domain or have email addresses listed on Office 365. Limited data source. Real time connection is allowed with limited data sources. If you are using Power BI for import mode, then there are a lot of options for importing data in the import mode. Whereas if you want to connect to Power BI using direct query mode, which is a real time connection is limited. It will have limited data sources which can provide direct query mode. It is complex in nature. Design is complex and users must be well versed in Power BI before working on it. See, Power BI has a lot of features, so it will be very difficult for someone who has no knowledge in Power BI to understand each and every icon or each and every step which can help them to create the reports. So once they understand it, it is easy, but when we are starting out, it is difficult for some people. The next question is, what is self-service BI? Self-service BI enables business professionals or users with no technical knowledge to filter, segment, analyze, and visualize their data and instantly generate intuitive and actionable reports or dashboards. It has simplified the process of accessing data and creating visuals to get meaningful insights. The best part is users don't need technical expertise for data reporting. They can use available filters and data manipulation options to create dashboards and make informed decisions. Microsoft SSBI has two parts. First one is Excel BI Toolkit and the other one is Power BI. Now let's move on to the next section of this video, which is Power BI benefits and features. What are the key benefits of using Power BI? There are a lot of benefits using Power BI. So here are a few benefits. First one is custom visualization. It allows the flexibility of creating custom visualizations for reports and dashboards. It will enable decision makers to find problems and make informed decisions. The second benefit of Power BI is it is easy to use, doesn't need technical prowess to visualize data and create reports. Simple interface allows non-technical users to transform raw data into interactive reports. The third benefit is ETL or Data Recovery Suite, a robust set of tools for extraction, transformation, and loading capabilities. Users can directly build reporting data marts and eliminate ambiguities in data sets. The fourth benefit of using Power BI is affordable price, much more affordable than other BI and data visualization tools. Ideal choice for small businesses. Q&A capability can execute natural language queries using Power Query and Power Q&A. It uses a natural language processing algorithm to process user commands. Other benefits include it enables building interactive data visualization in data centers. Users can transform raw data into interactive visuals and share them with anyone. It allows fast data analysis by establishing connection for Excel queries and dashboards, gives quick and accurate solutions, allows users to perform queries using simple English words. The next question is, what is a dashboard in Power BI? A Power BI dashboard is like a canvas, a single layered presentation sheet that helps create a story through multiple visualization reports. It includes all the highlights in the form of one page report, and users can understand the data better. The main features of a dashboard are users can drill through the page, selection pane, and bookmarks, create various styles, and integrate URLs. Allows users to set the report layout to mobile view. Is Power BI an effective solution? Power BI is a cloud based tool used to analyze and visualize raw data collected from various sources. It integrates data visualizations with data analytics so that businesses can make informed and better decisions based on data. Power BI is easy to use even for non-technical person and processes data in an easy to understand and reliable way. It is compatible with different platforms and can be shared on the cloud, making it an effective solution. Let's move on to the next section, which is data sources and connectivity. What data sources can Power BI connect to? The list of data sources that can be connected to Power BI is extensive. So here are some of the data sources which we can connect to: files, Power BI desktop files, Excel, comma separated values, content packs from service providers such as Salesforce, Google Analytics, Market Marketo created and shared by other users in an organization. We will have different connectors with which we can connect to different databases and datasets such as SQL, Azure, SQL Server, analysis services, tabular data. Additional sources include Excel, SQL Server database, JSON, IBM, Impala, Access database, PDF, text or CSV, MySQL, SharePoint, Oracle, and more. What are the available formats of Power BI? Power BI Desktop is one format which you can download and install on your PC, connect to data sources, and transform, analyze, and visualize data using templates. Power BI services, cloud-based service or SaaS, you can connect to, and but modeling is limited. You can connect to data, but modeling is limited. Power BI mobile app. Users can access dashboards and reports securely on any device compatible with iOS, Android, and Windows. Where do you reshape data in Power BI? Data is reshaped in data editing, which allows users to manipulate rows and columns of the data according to their requirements. How can you refresh data in Power BI? Data can be refreshed in Gateway by scheduling a refresh in the Power BI service. What are custom visualizations? Power BI allows users to create visualizations using a library of custom visualizations. Start by creating a development project and then test the visual in Power BI services. After customizing the visualization, it is tested and checked thoroughly before sharing and saved as .pbi viz file. However, one must be a Power BI Pro user to be able to customize visualizations. Power BI technical features. What are different refresh options in Power BI? The four key refresh options in Power BI are package refresh, synchronizes Power BI desktop and Excel file between Power BI service and OneDrive or SharePoint online, doesn't extract data from original source, data set updated with what's in the file within OneDrive, model all model or data refresh refreshes data set with data collected from original source using scheduled refresh or refresh now option, requires a gateway for on-premises data sources. Generally we do the data refresh. This is more common when you want to update your data sources in Power BI service. Tile refresh updates cache for tile visuals on dashboard every 15 minutes. Can force refresh by clicking ellipses on upper right side of the dashboard. The visual container refresh refreshes visual container and updates cache report visuals within dashboard once data is changed. Next question is, what are the different views in Power BI desktop? There are mainly three types of views: report view, data view, and model view. A report view is where your default view, it is the default view. It allows users to add visualizations and multiple additional report pages. So this is where you create the report by dragging the visuals into the canvas for each page and publish them on the portal. The next type of view in Power BI Desktop is your data view. The data view will allow you to see the data in the form of tables. See, I think it is updated to table view, but I am not sure about it. Yeah, but it is either data view or table view, and this view will allow you to see the data in the form of tables. uh, you can also create some calculated columns for further insights. If you want to add some additional details, you can create some calculated columns such that you create some additional calculation on top of your table, and that calculated column will be added as a new column in your table. And the last type of view in the Power BI desktop is model view, where you create the relationships between the tables, and it is also known as a relationship view, and it helps users manage relationships between complex data sets. So users can see all the data models and compare or create diagrams according to subsets of the model. So the model view is where you create many to many or many to one, and one to Basically, it will be many to one relationship. So if you have a many to many relationship between the tables, basically you need to create a bridge table between the two tables such that you remove the relationship, because many to many basically will create some ambiguity between the tables. So you need to create a new table and create a many to one and one to many relationship using the bridge table in between. So let's discuss many to many relationship in more detail in the upcoming videos. So we will continue from here. We have completed around 20 questions related to Power BI, and I hope you are enjoying this video until this point. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. I will be creating a lot of videos related to Power BI, Python, SQL, and Excel. Basically, everything related to data analytics, data science, and data engineering as well. So, let's move on, and don't forget to like this video. Let's move on to the next topic, which is Power BI versus other tools. Difference between Power BI and Tableau. This can be a basic common question that can be asked if you are familiar with Power BI or Tableau. They will ask you the difference between these two tools in order to understand how you can see the differentiation between Power BI and Tableau. Power BI is for Power BI. You can see the details here related to Power BI. Embedding reports is easier, qualified to handle little limited volumes of data sets, doesn't have wide access to data sources, simple interface that helps users validate data, easy to use for both new and experienced users, uses DAX for formulas, limited capacity to handle large volumes, cloud support difficulty, integrated with Microsoft Azure, and it is more affordable compared to Tableau. And if we look at Tableau, the features of Tableau, we have embedding reports in Tableau is a challenge. So that is where we have the advantage in Power BI. Embedding reports is easier in Power BI, but whereas Tableau can handle huge volume of data without affecting the performance. See, this is the key difference or the key differentiator between Tableau and Power BI. Tableau can handle huge volumes of data without affecting performance, but when you use Power BI, you need to take care, if you especially if you have large volumes of data, you need to make sure that you optimize your data model and you have only the data that you need when you create the reports in Power BI. Next, we have in Tableau, it can access various data sources. Interface is comparatively difficult to understand, suitable for experienced professionals in data analytics, uses multidimensional expressions or MDX, can support the cloud easily, has inbuilt machine learning capability, need to pay more when third party apps are connected. So you can see the key difference between Power BI and Tableau in this table. Let's move on. The difference between Power Query and Power Pivot. Power Query is basically an ETL service tool with which you can do a lot of stuff using Power Query. So Power Query is mainly used to connect to different data sources, extract the data from different data sources, transform the data. You can perform a lot of transformations using Power Query. So a lot of transformations like merging the tables, appending tables. You can replace replace errors, replace values, and you can do a lot of stuff, change the data types of columns. It revolves around collecting and transforming data and loading it into Power BI desktop in order to use that to create the reports. Whereas a Power Pivot is in-memory data modeling component. So this is not directly visible to you. It is basically the inner part which we cannot see, but we need to understand. But we need to understand that this is a component of Power BI Desktop. It is an in-memory data modeling component and focuses on analyzing data. So Power Pivot is basically useful, or we can say it is behind what we have as the relationship view. In the relationship view, you create the data model. So in the backend, we can say that Power Pivot is doing that thing, creating the relationships. Let's move on to the next question, which is what is get data in Power BI? Get data connects to connects you to different data sources to import data for analysis and visualization. You can select from numerous data sources. When you click on the get data option in Power BI, you can see a drop down menu showing all the data sources that you can connect to. You can directly ingest data from any source. Moreover, Power BI data flows and Power BI data sets are compatible. So basically what this last statement means is you can have Power BI data flow. A data flow is basically the in Power BI service you can create, perform transformations to a data model, and you can store it as a data flow. So that is what we call as a data flow. And you can save that data flow, Power BI data flow, and use that as a data source. And you can also use a Power BI data set. Power BI data sets are also compatible when you want to get data in Power BI. So Power BI data set is one more data source, so which you can save in your Power BI service, and you can use that as your data source when you are creating a new report and you are trying to get data into Power BI desktop. Let's move on to the next topic, which is Power BI workflow and filtering. What is the comprehensive working system of Power BI? The working system of Power BI comprises four key steps. The first step is data importing. Basically, you start by importing data, convert it into standard format, and store in staging area. Next one is data cleaning, in which you transform or clean data to eliminate unwanted data. The next one is data visualization. Data is represented visually in form of dashboards or reports using powerful data visualization tools. So the last step is to save and publish. Once you have created your report and you are satisfied that you can save and publish this, you can click on the publish option in Power BI desktop and share them with other users via mobile apps or web. The next question is what are different filters in Power BI reports? This is very important question which is generally asked in Power BI interviews. Power BI offers several options to filter reports, data, and visualizations. The first type of filter is visual level filter. The visual level filter work on individual visualization applied to both data and calculation conditions. The next type of visualization is page level filters. The page level filter is used to filter a page in a report made of multiple pages. It can apply different page level filters to multiple pages in the same report. The last type of filter is report level filter. It applies filters to entire report affecting all pages and visualizations, and it is also known as generalized filters. This point is not important. Basically what is important, by the way, is knowing that these three types of filters exist: visual level filter, page level filter, and report level filter. The drawbacks of visual interactions, we need to talk about the drawbacks. Filters are not saved as part of report. Any filter applied is visible, which is a major downside when you don't want visual indication. So I hope you are enjoying this video until this point. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Let's move on to the next set of 25 questions. The next question is Power BI components deep dive. What is Power Pivot? Power Pivot is an add-in. Basically, it is an add-in for Excel 2010, and it is introduced to extend the analytical capabilities of Microsoft Excel. It allows users to import and mash up millions of data from various sources into a single Excel workbook. You can manipulate and analyze data, draw conclusions, and share insights easily without impacting computer speed. It allows you to create calculated columns, measure using formulas, find relationships between heterogeneous data, and build pivot charts and pivot tables. So Power Pivot is basically the main component in Excel which allows you to create the pivot tables, pivot charts, calculated columns, measures, and relationships. So this is the most important component for Excel when you want to do some advanced data analysis, when you need some advanced capabilities beyond Excel, what we have in Excel, which is generally Excel formulas, basic data manipulations. So this same Power Pivot is the main component of Power BI Desktop when you deal with calculated columns, measures, creating relationships. So all of these are part of a Power Pivot component. So Power Pivot is behind everything which you use in Power BI Desktop in terms of relationships, calculated columns, measures, DAX, and all of these things. Next question is what is Power Query? Power Query is a BI tool designed by Microsoft for Excel. So Power Query is also designed mainly for initially for Excel, and later it is added to Power BI Desktop. It is used in Power BI Desktop as a component. You can collect, clean, transform, and reshape data according to your requirements using an intuitive interface without coding. So, this is an important point. Power Query doesn't require you to write any coding. Even though you have mQuery language, you can do almost most of the stuff without coding using the intuitive interface. So that is what makes Power Query really useful. You write your query once and return it with a simple refresh and run it with a simple refresh. Power Query is helpful for users to import data from a range of sources like databases, files, social media, big data, etc. Combine data from multiple sources, shape data, add or remove to meet your requirements. Next one is what is Power View? Power View is a data visualization technology used for interactive display of data using charts, graphs, maps, and other visuals that can make data more intuitive. It is available in SQL Server, Excel, Power BI, and SharePoint. Visualization options available in Power View are charts, pie charts, maps, line charts, tiles, tables, power view, cards, images, multiple visualizations, bubble and scatter charts, key performance indicators. Now let's talk about difference between Power BI and Excel. Power BI is not great option for handling tabular reports. Excel is for handling tabular reports better than Power BI. Power BI can create interactive and personalized reports, has simple analytics, perfect for KPIs, alerts, and dashboards, can display duplicate tables. Excel can perform advanced cross filtering between charts, has advanced analytics, has new charts, but they can't connect to data model. Users can display duplicate tables. What are content packs in Power BI? Content packs are pre-built collection of visualizations and Power BI reports for chosen services to enhance the Power BI experience. A subscriber to chosen services can connect to Power BI by logging into their account and see their data through ready-made live dashboards and interactive reports. Microsoft has introduced content packs for various services like Adobe Analytics, SQL Sentry, Marketo, Circuit ID, Salesforce, QuickBooks Online, Tygraph, Azure Mobile Engagement. Notable features of content packs include access to specific groups or entire organization can be customized so users can select the right pack. Users with access to content pack can create new reports or dashboards from the content. Okay, everyone, let's continue our discussion about Power BI with our next section, which is data analysis expressions. What is DAX? DAX is a collection of operators, functions, and constants used in formulas to perform basic calculations and data analysis in Power Pivot. It is a formula language that helps you collect meaningful information from the available data. DAX works on column values and is used to compute calculated columns, fields, and measures. However, it can be used to modify or insert data or calculate rows. So, the basic syntax of DAX is basically you will have the DAX function and you will use the column in order to do the calculation. So here we are calculating the total sales using sum of sales amount from sales table. So the benefits of using variables in DAX. Variables can be reused in DAX queries, so no need for additional queries or source database. With variables, DAX expressions become understandable. What are three fundamental concepts of DAX? The syntax, it is a way a formula is written, referring to elements included in it. If syntax is wrong, you get an error message. Next one is functions, arguments or specific values written in particular order to perform calculations, same as function in Excel. It includes date or time, information, statistical, mathematical, logical, text, or parent or child, etc. Context. Two types of context which we need to be aware of in Power BI. They are row context and filter context. Row context is used when formula has function to apply filters to find a row in table. Whereas a filter context is used when more than one filter is applied in calculation to find a value. What are the most common DAX functions used? The most commonly used DAX functions are sum, average, min, max, count rows, distinct count, if and or switch, values, all, filter, calculate, union, intersect, except, natural inner join, natural left outer join, is blank, is filtered, is cross filtered, summarize columns, is empty, where function for creating variables, geomean, median, dative. The next question is what is calculate function in DAX? The calculate function is used to find the sum of an entire column from a table and can be modified with filters. It is the only function to let users modify the filter context of tables or measures. So this is a really important function because this is the only function which will allow you to modify the filter context of tables or measures. So calculate function, inside the calculate function you will use an expression and you will apply the filters. Here expression is something that needs to be evaluated and a filter is a boolean or table expression defining a filter. We are moving on to the advanced Power BI concepts. How to perform query tasks on the Power BI desktop. To perform a query, you need to use the Power Query option on the Power BI desktop through the Power Query editor. You can open it by going to the Edit Queries from the Home tab. How do you create a group in Power BI? Select all the fields you want to add to the group. Right click on them and click on Context menu. After that, select the group option and Power BI will create a group of the selected items automatically. What is row level security? Row level security restricts data access and view for a user, filters limit data access at the row level, and users can define filter rules and roles in Power BI desktop and publish them to Power BI service to configure row level security. Users with access to a workspace can also access datasets in the same workspace. Row-level security simply restricts access to data for users with viewer permission and doesn't apply to members, admins, or contributors. The function username is used with table relationships to limit data to current users. To enable row-level security, you need a Power BI Pro subscription. I have created a detailed video explaining the core theory or the key concept of row level security, and you can find the link of that video in the description, so you can check that out if you want to know more about row level security in detail in Power BI. Let's move on to the next question. How are relationships defined in Power BI Desktop? Relationships between tables in Power BI Desktop are defined in two ways. The first one is manual, in which you will create the relationships using primary and foreign keys, and basically you need to drag the columns based on which you need to join the two tables, and it is a manual process. So this is the manual process of creating the relationship. And second type of relationship is automatic, where the automatic feature of Power BI, by default it will be enabled, and it identifies the relationships between tables and defines them automatically. So it will automatically create the relationships, and you can see whether that relationships are exactly what you need, and if you think that these relationships are not needed, then you can just go ahead and select on the relationship, and you can delete or change the relationships between the tables. The next question is define bidirectional cross filtering. Bidirectional cross filtering makes data modelers' jobs easier and hassle free. It lets data modelers decide how their Power BI desktop filters will flow using relationships between tables. The filter context is transmitted to the second related table on the other side of a table relationship. This enables data modelers to solve many-to-many problems without writing complex tax formulas. So basically, it is just telling Power BI Desktop, that when I filter this particular table, I want the data to be filtered in the other table, or when I filter data from another table, it should filter data from this table. So that is what we said bidirectional cross filtering is. Basically, you should try to minimize or avoid bidirectional cross filtering, because it will cause a lot of ambiguity between when you try to filter data from multiple tables. So it is better to have single direction cross filtering, and if it is mandatory for you that you need to filter data from both tables, only then you can apply bidirectional cross filtering, and you can filter data from both tables. The next question is, what is Advanced Editor in Power BI? Advanced Editor is used to see queries that Power BI runs against the data source to import data. These queries are rendered in M code, which is Power Query formula language. To view the query code, users need to select Edit Queries from the Home tab and click on Advanced Editor from Home or View tab to work on the query. And the most beautiful or useful feature of advanced editor is you can change how you need to apply the transformation. If you know M code or M language and you can implement transformations, you can do that by just changing the code in the advanced editor. The advanced editor window will display the code for the selected query, and you can any changes made to the data in query editor or saved to applied steps in the query setting. So this is a very useful feature when you quickly want to make any changes to the data transformations in Power Query Editor. The next question that we are going to talk about is what are query parameters and Power BI templates. Query parameters are used to provide users with a local Power BI desktop report with a prompt so they can specify the values they want. The query and calculations can use parameter selection. Users can export PBIX files as templates. These templates include everything in the PBIX except data. Through parameters and templates, it is possible to share or email small template files and restrict the amount of data loaded in the local PBIX file, which enhances the processing experience. Why do users need Power Query when Power Pivot can import data from mostly used sources? Power Query is self-service ETL export transform load tool that allows users to pull data from different sources, manipulate it based on their requirements, and load it into Excel. It runs as an Excel add-in. Users prefer Power Query over Power Pivot as they can easily load data and manipulate it into any form according to their requirements while loading. What is Power Map? Power Map is another Excel add-in which we have already discussed. It offers a powerful set of tools to help users visualize and gain insights into a huge set of data. With a geo-coded component, users can produce 3D visualizations by plotting a million data points in the form of heat, column, and bubble maps on top of a Bing map. In case data is time-stamped, it can create interactive views displaying how the data changes over time and space. What are primary requirements for a table to be used in Power Map? To be consumed in Power Map, data location is a must. So it should have features like latitude or longitude pair, street, city, country or region, zip or postal code, and state or province geolocated by Bing. This table must contain unique rows, and location data can be in the form of latitude or longitude pair, but that is not mandatory. What are many to many relationships and how can they be addressed in Power BI? Many to many relationships comprise a bridge table. Basically, you need to create a bridge table showing the combinations of dimensions. These combinations can either be possible or those that have occurred. Bidirectional cross filtering relationships can be used in PBIX. DAX is used per metric to check or modify filter context. Cross filter is used in Power Pivot in Excel. So basically, many to many relationships. If you have many to many relationships in your reports, you need to create a bridge table. A bridge table will allow you to include all the unique values from both tables. Basically, you, you need to consider the primary key or foreign key, basically the unique key with which you are trying to join these two tables. Basically the column, when you use many to many relationship, that means multiple values from one column from first table is matching with multiple values from another column from another table. So in that case, you need to bring all the data into a single column inside your bridge table and connect that using many to one and one to many relationships. So that is how you resolve the many to many relationships. If you want a complete video on many to many relationships with a detailed explanation, let me know in the comments below and I will create a new video based only on many to many relationships. Let's go to the next question. In the section Power BI data models and structure, the difference between a Power BI dataset, report, and a dashboard. Power BI dataset is a data model in an analysis services server. Data can be inside the model or direct query connection to the source. The source to create reports and visuals or tiles. So it can be used as a source to create reports or visuals or tiles. A report is an individual Power BI desktop file. PBIX file comprises one or more report pages. It is built for interactive and in-depth dataset analysis. Each report is connected to at least one dataset and each page contains one or more visuals. The dashboard is collection of visuals from various reports and pinned. It is built to aggregate primary visuals and metrics from different data sets. The next question is, what is difference between calculated columns, calculated tables, and measures? The calculated column will be added to tables through DAX formula applied to existing data, and it is useful when data sources don't represent data in desired format. It is used for intermediate calculations users want to store in data model. Calculated tables are created by applying dash formula to define value calculated in report and data views. DAX formula is used to define values in new columns instead of querying data sources. Highlights running totals, sales forecasting, comparing sales, etc. So this is where you will use calculated tables if you want to create a calculated table. And the last type of DAX formula that we write is measure. A measure is used for complex calculations, and it is useful when you want to aggregate your data or need up to the minute calculations. So mainly measures are used for aggregating your data and creating KPIs. The next question is, what are the ways to leverage Excel experience with Power BI? Here are a few ways to use Excel experience with Power BI. The Power BI publisher for Excel can be used to pin Excel items such as tables, charts, ranges to Power BI service. Connect to reports and datasets stored in Power BI service. You can use Excel workbooks to create a report in Power BI by exploring models in Excel tables. Excel reports can be shared in the Power BI service via content packs. Excel workbooks Power Pivot can be imported to Power BI desktop models, saving time and effort. So basically, if you have a data model created in your Excel workbook, it can be imported to Power BI desktop models, and it will save you a lot of time and effort as you do not have to create the data model in Power BI desktop from scratch. Upload the Excel workbook in Power BI and view it on a browser for Power BI app and Power BI desktop. The next question is, what is the common table function for grouping data? The common table function to group data is summarize. It is the primary group by function in SQL Server analysis services, and it is recommended to specify tables and columns rather than metrics. You can use the add columns function. Summarize columns is a more efficient and new group by function in Power BI desktop. Make sure to specify groups by expressions, columns, and table. What are the data management gateway and Power BI personal gateway? Gateway is a gateway is used to bridge the gap between on-premises data sources and Azure cloud services. There are two types of Power BI gateways: personal gateway and on-premises gateway. A personal gateway is used to import and Power BI service only and no central monitoring. It can be used only by one person and others are not allowed to use this gateway. On-premises data gateway is used for import and direct query and monitors centrally. There can be multiple users of the gateway to develop content. So we have reached the end of this video and we have covered more than around 50 questions, exactly 50 questions related to Power BI. We have discussed a lot of stuff related to Power BI, and I hope you have learned something related to Power BI in this video. If you want this document, I will give a link in the description of this video and you can access this document for free. Until then, I will meet you in the next video. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.